Good morning. It is the 6th, is it? I don't know. It's Saturday. And it is the first day of the Queer No Fear Readathon. It's just a little mini readathon happening this weekend, hosted by Tasman from Tea Books and Tasman and Molly from Mind of Molly. I will link them both below. They're wonderful. And I wanted to take part because I wanted to have a reading weekend anyway, and I was like, what a great excuse. So, can you tell I've just woken up? I am going to get back into bed. I'm going to finish my current read, which is Love and Colour, but I literally have one story left, so I'm going to finish that in like 10 minutes. And then these are the books I'm going to be picking from this weekend. No TBR, because you know me. But I've got a selection of 6 books. Obviously, I'm not reading 6 books this weekend, but here are the 6 books I'm going to be picking from. And I've also got an audiobook that I'm maybe going to read. I've been really obsessed with Serial, the podcast, and I've literally listened to like 10 episodes in 3 days, so I might not listen to the audiobook, but if I do, it is I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shraya, which I'm very excited to read. It's literally only like an hour and a half, so I probably could read it this weekend. Anyway, here are the 6 books. Oh, I'll just show you actually. Welcome to my bookshelf. I've put my weekend selection here. So we have got, this is kind of an epic love story by Kalynn. Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi. Tin Man by Sarah Winman. Life as a Unicorn by Amru Al-Kadi. And the last one, I'm a Gay Wizard by V.S. Santoni. So I don't know which one I'm going to read first. We'll see. I'm going to take them all upstairs. I'll bring them with me and then I'll let you know which one I start reading. Bye. Oh, wait. Bye. Can you hear that? I'm just finishing off the last few pages, look, of Love and Colour. I'm really enjoying it. It's been a really, really fun read, actually. Like, I really like it a lot. I'm saying that in a bit of a surprise tone because I think it's like mythical, like myths retold, and that isn't really my thing usually, but I've genuinely loved it so much, so that's really exciting. Look out for a full review and my wrap up. But now there's noise outside and I would like it to stop. Hello. So it is about 10:15 on Saturday and I'm going to make some tea and coffee and then get back into bed. I'm really excited. And I wanted to show you my breakfast. Yesterday we ordered this and there is one slice remaining. Dessert pizza. I think we'll have some banana bread too. It's a great time. Let's make some tea. So, while I make these drinks, I think I've decided I'm going to start on Cinderella is Dead because Lay from Bookshelf Soliloquies and Nicole from Forever Book Wandering both were like, read Cinderella is Dead. I like posted it on Twitter like, what should I read first? They both said Cinderella is Dead. So we're gonna go with Cinderella is Dead. Also, Ben has read Cinderella is Dead and he said it was a 5-star read as well, so I am very excited to read it. It's actually Ben's book. Gonna have a cozy morning reading. Ooh. Good morning, good afternoon. It's, oh, that's very bright, isn't it? There you go. It is just about midday and I'm about to go roller skating. It's very fun. And I'm either going to listen to Serial, because I'm really enjoying that podcast, or my audiobook, which is I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shraya. Really, I should prioritise my audiobook in a readathon, but we'll see. We'll see what I fancy. And then to give you an update on Cinderella is Dead, oh my god, I am loving this book so much. How far through am I? I read 81 pages this morning, just lying in bed reading it. I'm like loving the vibe of it. It's so great. Like, I don't know if this is considered a fantasy. Maybe it's like a fantasy light. I guess because it's like a fairy tale retelling. I was kind of wary because of the fantasy elements, but honestly it feels more like a dystopian to me. Like, there are obviously magical-esque, fairy tale-esque elements, and that doesn't really line up with dystopian, but the whole vibe of the book feels so dystopian, and it's so good. I really want to keep reading it, but I want to go roller skating, so I'm going to keep reading this later. Honestly, I genuinely think I might be able to finish this today. I feel really hooked and need to know what happens, so I love that. That was exactly what I needed to start this readathon. So let's go roller skating, and I'll catch up with you a bit later.
I'm afraid of men not because of any singular encounter with a man. I'm afraid of men because of the cumulative damage caused by the everyday experiences I've recounted here, and by those untold, and by those I continue to face.
Hi, it's really sunny and bright. I thought I would just catch you up with what I've been reading, which is I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shraya. So it's like a memoir, but it's only like an hour and a half long. And now that I've started it, I'm like, wow, I wish this was longer. It's so interesting and so both relatable, but also I'm learning a lot. So it talks a lot about her experience as a trans woman, and just so many experiences growing up that have shaped how she reacts to certain situations now. Finding it really interesting, and it's narrated by Vivek Shraya as well, which is amazing. I love it. I'm going to keep listening to it, and I'll come back with my thoughts. Also, I have ordered roller skating gear, so that's coming tomorrow. So if I roller skate tomorrow, if it's dry, I'll be safe. I'm not being very safe at the moment, but I will be. Hi, so I've got changed into my dressing gown. So the past few hours I've read a little bit of Cinderella is Dead. I watched Tasman's live. I wasn't there for the whole thing, but I caught a really interesting discussion around sexuality and being queer, and like when you realised, and kind of like how different people express different things, and like specifically talking a lot about like the differences between pan and bi, which I found so interesting because I identify as bi, but like it's so flexible and fluid and everyone has their own definitions. It's just a really interesting conversation, so I'll link that live below if you wanted to check it out. So I was watching that, and then I read a little bit. I'm now on page 129 of Cinderella is Dead. I am loving this book. I'm so intrigued where it's going. I'm that far through, so I don't think I am going to finish it today, but I'm super psyched, and I would like to finish it over the weekend. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going to do a bit more reading now before making dinner, and I've got a really busy evening, so I'll probably fit reading in maybe right at the end before I go to bed, but I have a chat later on with some friends about a readathon. Stay tuned. And then after that, like 8:30, something like that, I am recording a new episode of the podcast with Sean of Brews and Reviews. It's funny because we're now really trying to find times because we have such a time difference. Sean is in Canada, where we both are free to be able to record. It's a whole thing. Anyway, so I'm recording the podcast this evening, so I'll probably just like zonked after I finished everything. But we'll see. Anyway, that was really rambly. For now, I have some squash down there, and I'm going to keep reading Cinderella is Dead. Hello, good morning. It is now Sunday. I was quite busy last night. I had a podcast recording, which was really fun, and then after that I read more of Cinderella is Dead, and then this morning I've read more of Cinderella is Dead. I'm on page 278, so I'm definitely going to be finishing that one today, and then maybe I'll read another one, or start another one, most likely. Hello, so I'm just editing, and I wanted to just warn you that in this clip, one, I'm kind of sad, but two, I'm also talking about like sizing and like sizes and bodies. And I just feel like as I was watching back, I was like, I don't feel like, some people might really not want to watch this. It might be a little triggering. I'm not being like explicit, but I'm just kind of talking about weight and size, and I'm upset at the same time. So yeah, I just thought I'd warn you. I'll put a time here if you would like to skip past this bit. Okay, bye. I was gonna go roller skating, trying not to get upset. I was gonna go roller skating and I ordered some knee pads and arm pads. I ordered pads and I like put them on and they just, I don't really know. They like don't, I was worried about ordering them because they didn't seem to be the right size from what I measured myself. Like I measured my knees, my legs and stuff, and my legs seemed to be like 10 centimeters bigger than like the biggest size they did, so I just ordered the biggest size, and they're so tight, like, and I know that they're meant to be tight, and I don't know if they're like too tight. They're like really digging in, like especially on my arms, like when I bend, like all my arm like folds out over it and like it's fine, but I just got a bit upset. And now here we are trying not to get upset. It's a silly thing to get upset over, but here we are. So, oh my god. Happier things, we're gonna just move on. They're probably meant to be like that. I think I just got upset. And yeah, here we are. I don't know if should I order another pair and see if they're the same level of tightness, like from different company. I don't know. Does anyone roller skate? Can anyone give me any advice? Thanks. So I'm not gonna go roller skating because I'm upset. Also, it's kind of windy and rainy. I think that maybe I'll get into like some cozy, comfy clothes, read the rest of Cinderella is Dead, and like chill the fuck out. Have a chill Sunday for the end of the readathon. I do want to finish I'm Afraid of Men as well, so I have to find some time today to listen to my audiobook. So that's me. Hopefully when you next see me I'll be really like sprightly. I guess time will tell. I've got my dressing gown, a Christmas jumper, is cozy on. I'm going to listen to the next episode of Serial that I have and like sort out the washing up. I just feel like I like to be cozy in a clean house. And if it's messy, I like can't 100% sink in. And my head's too frazzled to keep reading. It's not frazzled enough that I can't listen to Serial. So I'm gonna listen to Serial. I'll see you after. Okay, so basically I spent the afternoon listening to Serial and playing Overcooked, and it was really nice. It was like a nice way to zone out of my head. And I felt a lot better, as you'll see in the upcoming clip in a minute when I review Cinderella is Dead. I went for a nice walk. It was really nice. I felt a lot better after that and got some reading done in the afternoon.
It's cold.
Okay, hi. So it is, oh god, I don't even know the time, Sunday afternoon, and I have just finished Cinderella is Dead. I literally gasped like 20 times whilst reading this book. I'm literally speechless at how much I loved this book. I really had high expectations because I've only heard really, really good things, but retellings and fantasy are not exactly like on the top of my like, that's something I love. So I was quite hesitant, but still excited because I'd heard really good things from like a real variety of people. And holy shit. Oh my god, it was amazing. I loved it. I liked that at the beginning, I said this in a different clip I think, it was quite dystopian and it really gripped me and brought me into the world. And then as we went on, there's more of a fantasy magic element and oh my god, it was so good. Like, it was so gripping. I think that's what I loved most about it. I read this all, you know, I started it yesterday and I finished it today. So fast paced, so gripping. Such an interesting way to do a retelling of Cinderella. I loved it, and I loved being able to like see what she was doing with the story. Oh my god, it was so good. I loved it. So that was the first book I finished for the Queer No Fear readathon. Also, it was really fun because Kate from Reading Through Infinity was reading it. I think she's buddy reading it with someone else, but she saw that I was reading it, so she swooped into my DMs and we have been having a bit of a conversation about it, which has been really fun. But now I'm going to, I think, do a bit of cleaning and listen to I'm Afraid of Men, so I'll keep you posted. I'm so happy that I've read this book. I literally... Hi. Okay, so I'm going back in and it's like, I think it's like 7:30, something like that. I'm about to make dinner, but I just spent the last few hours kind of mulling around. Actually, no, that's not true. I spent the last hour listening to Serial. I just finished season 1, so I was like researching. Anyway, before that, I was cleaning, just like doing my weekly shit. And I finished listening to I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shraya. And oh my god, like, wow, I would really recommend listening to it or reading it. It must be super short because it was an hour and a half on audio, so that, like, is definitely not a novella because it's like a memoir, but a very short memoir. Very concise as well, and very like really well told. I really enjoyed that it was narrated by Vivek Shraya. I love it when audiobooks do that. And I think the whole perspective was so interesting, talking about the ways in which men have shaped her life as a trans woman growing up as an adult, and kind of like how men affected her life before she had transitioned, and kind of the way that it comes through, and also kind of talking about the ways in which like she's also afraid of women in terms of like sometimes like previously where women have not stuck up for her in the past. It was just a really interesting exploration of that, and I think it was really succinct. And it also talked generally about being a woman, and like specifically like, and like the things that you don't even think about doing, like general small changes in your behaviour, and you're doing those because of the fear of something happening to you from men, and that was really interesting. And then also in terms of how those things like differ but are the same in different ways from as being a trans woman, and it was really interesting. I'm really glad that I listened to it. Thank you to Sean for the recommendation. Yeah, it was really interesting. I really would recommend it. So yeah, that is probably the last book I'll finish for the official Queer No Fear readathon. Is that what it's called? No Fear Quit. Why have I forgotten? Yeah, hashtag Queer No Fear readathon. But I am going to read a bit more later. I think I'm going to start Tin Man by Sarah Winman, which I'm really excited for. So yeah, I'm going to cook dinner now. Catch up with you after I've read something, I guess. Okay, bye. Okay, hi. So it's now Monday, and last night, oh my god, I was super tired and I was editing a few bits, I think. I read 24 pages of Tin Man by Sarah Winman. Thank you to Amy, because this is actually her book. I'm really enjoying this bookmark. Okay, anyway, so I don't have many thoughts yet. I'm only 24 pages in. I'm actually going to stop the vlog here because I don't plan on reading that much today. Last night I had envisions of like having this as a reading day, but I'm feeling super productive in a video sense, so I want to do lots of video editing and stuff like that. So I will finish this in February. So look out for my February wrap up to see my thoughts, because I don't have any at the moment, 24 pages in. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. I don't vlog that often, so it's like always kind of fun when I do. Do you like seeing these like small snippet vlogs? Usually when I do vlog, I incorporate the good and the bad, as you've seen. Would you rather it just be bookish focused? I don't know, sometimes it feels more honest to kind of document, actually I spent half the day upset about roller skating. I'm not sure. Anyway, regardless, let me know if you enjoyed. And if you want to see more vlogs, tell me, because I will like dedicate a few weekends occasionally to doing a little weekend vlog. I'm never going to be a weekly vlogger, but like an occasional weekend vlogger I can do. yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you took part in the Queer No Fear readathon. Let me know if you've read any good queer books recently and what they were. If you have any recommendations for me. If you watched all the way to the end but you don't have anything of note to comment, or you're not in a commenty space, I see you. And just leave a little rainbow flag so that I know that you're here. Be sure to check out Tasmin and Molly, who hosted this readathon, and I will leave everyone I've mentioned throughout this vlog in the comments. Nope, in the description. Okay, I'll see you in a new video. Bye!